Hey, welcome back everyone. This is Uncle Frank, and I am not a financial advisor, nor is any of the content to be construed as financial advice. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For everyone using an events calendar, you knew exactly what was coming in when last week. PPI and CPI came in as expected, as opposed to hot, so we got a rally. Gensler did what I predicted he would. Like a typical leftist, he filed a meaningless, pointless appeal. It does absolutely nothing but cost the taxpayers millions and handicaps new technology and further frustrates investors. He did nothing to protect us from the collapse of FTX, but continues to single out this project, XRP, one that would unlock billions in liquidity. The coin rallied anyway and now seems to be pulling back a bit. More on the calendar later. From Wall Street breakfast, Wall Street on Friday surged to its best weekly performance since the post-election rally in November. After a topsy-turvy December and a rocky start to the new year, the bulls came roaring back over the past couple of days. Wednesday, in particular, saw the three major averages post their best intraday advance since November 6th, while the bond market also saw some much-needed relief. The primary driver of the moves was the core consumer price index reading for December, which surprised to the downside. The favorable inflation data reignited bets that the Fed Reserve will continue to ease its monetary policy. Sentiment this week was also boosted by a strong start to the earnings season in the form of solid quarterly results from major banks. JPM, Citi, Wells Fargo, Goldman, B of A, and Morgan Stanley all delivered quarterly beats driven by investment management activity and trading gains in what was a massive year for markets in 2024. The earnings calendar will turn into a deluge from next week, with some of the biggest companies in the world on deck. For the week, the benchmark S&P added 2.9%, NASDAQ climbed 2.5%, and the blue chip Dow surged 3.7%. On your screen left is Friday's final numbers. All four indexes finished green, with oil losing 64 cents to end at 78.04, and gold gave up 10.90 to end at 27.40. For the week, financials and energy led the way, both up 6.1%. WTI crude oil gained 2.2%, gold gained 1.2%, while the 10-year bond yield dropped 0.2 basis points to 4.622, thank God. Bitcoin gained 9.2% last week, Ethereum added 2.6%, but my baby XRP posted 24.20%. And here we go. Next week, the World Economic Forum meets in Davos to plan your future. President Trump will be inaugurated on Monday. It's MLK Day, so the markets will be closed, but not crypto, right? Remember I said that. Gary Gensler will finally be gone. We will get a new SEC chair. We will have a new AI and crypto czar. Wednesday, the infamous Trump VIX calls will expire, but you better decide by Tuesday, right? Like every Thursday, we will get initial jobless claims at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Remember, when it comes to jobs data, good news is bad news right now. If jobless claims come in too low, that means the job market is too hot, and that means less of a chance the Fed will cut rates. What else is on the calendar? Trump planning to issue cryptocurrency executive orders on day one. Now tell the truth. Isn't this better than arguing about transgender toilets or sending billions more to Ukraine? Don't you prefer these kind of headlines coming out of the White House? If not, just unsubscribe. Do us both a favor. What Trump is planning for day one and what could matter most for investors. Donald Trump and his allies are promising a blizzard of activity on January 20th with a wave of executive orders to be signed within hours of his swearing in and more likely to follow in the days afterward. The president-elect and top aide Stephen Miller have separately said that once the dust settles, the total could be on the magnitude of 100 different executive actions. Quote, "It's going to be immediate," Trump has said of the effects, especially on the issue of immigration. For investors and business leaders trying to sift through the flurry, it's already clear how some of Trump's plans could affect certain industries or sectors of the economy. Energy, for example, is set for a keen day one focus with specific moves planned. But there remains significant uncertainty surrounding the exact direction Trump will take on other topics, especially the issue of tariffs. Yes, that's all the media can spin right now. The Trump tariffs will cause inflation. Guys, relax. It's a negotiating tool. Let the man try before we hit the panic button. Just the threat of a tariff can have profound impact on our trading partners and already has. A wide array of other issues could also be addressed, from the federal workforce to crypto to TikTok to student loans and more. Quote, "We think Trump's day one executive orders will be focused on 4 topics: immigration, deregulation, bureaucracy reform, and possibly tariffs," is how Tobin Marcus, the head of U.S. policy and politics at Wolf Research, summed things up in a recent note to clients. Quote, "Tariffs are the big wild card." He added in an indication of the uncertainty around that final agenda item. Yes, that's exactly what the media and financial press wants to inject into the markets here: uncertainty. Don't forget, in his first 100 days, Biden signed 60 executive orders, 24 of which reversed Trump's, like canceling the Keystone Pipeline. That really helped us out, didn't it? 10 actions on immigration that essentially opened the borders, lifting a ban on transgenders in the military, so they could take money out of our checks to pay for gender reassignment surgeries. That's what the military is for anyway, right? Now, notice the dates between January 14th to the 23rd are highlighted yellow. That's because that's the time window Janet Yellen predicted we would hit the debt ceiling. Now she's narrowed that down to one day, January 21st, the day after we get a new president. Interesting timing, wouldn't you say? That's highlighted in red, and I put a little bomb there so we remember to watch out for that. So, Uncle Frank, are you insinuating we could get a Trump rally the day after the market reopens, or we could get a sell-off if the government hits the debt ceiling and starts shutting down? It's not impossible, guys. Now, on this channel, we never worry. We prepare and plan. Janet Yellen says that she's prepared to take extraordinary steps to avert a default. We shall see. TikTok could go dark on Sunday as U.S. ban looms. What could happen to your TikTok app this weekend? TikTok threatened to go dark Sunday without a definitive assurance from the White House that a new ban would not be enforced. Tesla stock jumps amid speculation Elon Musk could buy TikTok. But American consumers and businesses can look forward to this Trump dividend sooner than later. Trump may get early win with gas prices expected to drop in 2025. Inauguration Day, Davos, Bank of Japan, Netflix earnings, what to watch next week according to the Wall Street Journal? Well, of course, Monday, Inauguration Day, a swearing-in ceremony for President-elect Donald Trump is due to start at 12 noon Eastern Time, right? Tuesday, earnings, Charles Schwab and 3M are scheduled to report pre-market. Netflix, United Airlines, and Capital One follow after the close. On Wednesday, more earnings: Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, Abbott Labs, and GE Vernova are all due to report ahead of the opening bell. Thursday, GE Aerospace, Elevance Health, and Freeport-McMoRan are due to report in the morning. Texas Instruments and CSX are up after the close. And then on Friday, the Bank of Japan rate decision. It's due after its two-day policy meeting. More earnings. Amex and Verizon are due to report before the opening bell on Friday. S&P Flash Purchasing Managers Index, or PMI, for the U.S. is due at 9:45 a.m., and of course data on existing home sales is due at 10. Another one bites the dust, guys. Short seller Nate Anderson says he's disbanding Hindenburg. Small bearish firm made powerful foes, costing some billions. It's a chapter in my life, not a central thing that defines me. No, Nate, the investing public, we get to decide your legacy. We know exactly what you are. From the article, many of the targets of Hindenburg's reports were smaller companies. The firm has also gone after companies of major financial figures, including Carl Icahn's Icahn Enterprises LP and the business empire of Indian billionaire Gautam Adani. The most recent report filed by the company was on January 2nd about auto retailer Carvana, which it called a father and son accounting grift for the ages. In a statement, Carvana called the firm's report intentionally misleading and inaccurate. The stock fell more than 11% the day after Hindenburg published its report, but has since recovered. Hey guys, 10 people worked at Hindenburg. Carvana employs 13,700 people. That father and son created a company out of thin air that is now a Fortune 500 company. I wouldn't spit on Nate Anderson if he was on fire on my front lawn. Anyway, it continues. Hindenburg was a short seller as well as a research house. This means that the firm was placing bets against the companies it was researching, putting it in position to profit if the stock declined. Sound familiar, right? Yeah, Andrew left. As Hindenburg's reputation grew, some stocks saw immediate negative reactions after the reports were published. You see how that works, guys? Go short, put out your report, and cash in. It's not clear how much money Hindenburg made from its short bets. The rise of Hindenburg came at the time when the controversial practice of short selling was falling out of favor elsewhere. The meme stock craze of 2021 pitted retail investors against hedge funds, causing some professional investors to back away from short selling. Federal officials have also been investigating other short sellers in recent years, including the Department of Justice hitting Citron's Andrew Left with securities fraud charges last year. Yeah, that's why we're packing it up, right, Nate? You can hear the footsteps coming. Just my 2 cents. Look, guys, I'm as excited about Trump and the prospects for XRP and all my tech stocks as anyone else out here, but we must keep an eye on the things that could upset the party. Subscribers to this channel know I'm a fan of the crypto guys over at Milk Road. They continue to point out that for the last 15 weeks, global liquidity has done nothing but decrease week over week, leading many to wonder if the top is already in or if the correlation between crypto and liquidity no longer exists. What they're really worried about is a global debt spiral, and so am I. As governments grow their debt, they debase their currency by printing more of it. As a result, the value of these currencies goes down versus scarce assets like gold, real estate, crypto, and tech stocks. This explains why these assets continue to go up and to the right over the long term, while governments continue to print more and more money. A key point to remember about government debt is that governments need to pay interest on it, the same as we pay interest on unpaid credit card debt or mortgages. This is where the debt spiral comes in. Not only are government debts getting bigger and bigger because we have less productive humans over time, but the interest payments on this unpaid debt is compounding year over year. On a side note, This also explains why interest rates have trended lower over time since the 1980s. The government simply can't handle sustained high interest rates. It must go lower or the debt spiral will accelerate and the system could collapse. Breaking from bar chart, these three companies are funding Trump's inauguration. They could get a boost in the new year. Hey, I'm not telling you to trade them. I just want you to know who they are. President-elect Donald Trump is preparing to return to the White House, and corporate America is loosening its purse strings with unprecedented enthusiasm. Several companies across sectors such as tech, automobiles, and even cryptocurrency are donating millions to Trump's upcoming inauguration ceremony. Large cap giants on Wall Street, such as Toyota, Ford, and General Motors, have each committed $1 million, while Amazon, Meta Platforms, and OpenAI are matching these contributions. Ride-hailing heavyweight Uber has pledged to donate $2 million, indicating that businesses view these contributions as an opportunity to establish favorable relations with the new administration. Bar chart is picking three: Ford, Intuit, and Coinbase. From Zero Hedge, Trump orders inauguration moved indoors due to, quote, dangerous conditions. In a post to Truth Social, Trump said that the weather forecast, including the wind chill factor, could take temperatures into severe record lows. There is an Arctic blast sweeping the country. I don't want to see people hurt or injured in any way. Trump's post continued, adding, therefore, I have ordered the inauguration address, in addition to prayers and other speeches, to be delivered in the United States Capitol Rotunda as it was used by Ronald Reagan in 1985. That's what it looked like back in 1985. As you can imagine, not everyone is buying this explanation, including optimal projection or Representative Green. I have personally attended countless rallies where President Trump spoke in extreme weather conditions, from cold to rain to heat. Is there a security threat other than extreme cold temperatures, not only for him, but for the people? We're going to find out soon if the bad guys have anything planned for this occasion. And I guess we should have expected this headline: thousands expected at People's March in D.C. to protest Trump. Thousands of people are expected in Washington and in cities across the country Saturday for the People's March, a protest of President-elect Donald Trump and the GOP's policy priorities, which organizers say will undermine the rights of women, immigrants, the LGBTQ+ community, and racial and religious minorities. Yeah, enjoy yourself. Your side had its chance. Don't go away mad. Just go away. Now, this is one thing Uncle Frank is excited about. Wall Street gets ready to make deals after learning to live without them. That's because I love my God, family, and country, and I want it to recover. I want its people to prosper. Wall Street's biggest banks just finished an epic week. JP Morgan reported its most profitable year ever. Profits at Bank of America and Morgan Stanley more than doubled in Q4. And Goldman Sachs profits just hit a 3-year high. The mood at big banks is sunny, and their stock prices show it. But on Monday, there's reasons to think the mood will get even better once Joe Biden hands Donald Trump the keys to the White House. But it's not just that Wall Street's optimism is underwritten by an expectation that the Trump administration will essentially be like the substitute teacher who wheels out the TV to a cheering class. Rather, it is that Trump may usher in the final piece of the puzzle for an otherwise booming business. And that's deals, guys. Quote, there is a significant backlog from sponsors and overall increased appetite for deal making, supported by an improving regulatory backdrop, Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon said this week. The chart on your screen depicts a slow comeback in the IPO market. It's the chart of the week, and it shows the last few years have been lean times in the IPO market after a bumper run coming out of the pandemic. Guys, Uncle Frank wants Ripple to go public. That's back on the table with Joe Biden and specifically Gensler gone. I'm tired of talking about men that think they're women competing against the ladies in women's sports. I want the country to get back to business, and now we have our chance. Everything the Biden administration has done has weakened the nation. I want to return to actions that strengthen it. But Uncle Frank, doesn't the Bible say that money is the root of all evil? No, they've been misquoting that. It actually reads, the love of money is the root of all evil, meaning you mustn't worship it and keep it in its proper perspective. It is to be respected, carefully managed, but not worshipped like Adam Aaron does. Now it's true, the Bible warns in Ecclesiastes that the love of money can lead to dissatisfaction and a constant desire for more. And Hebrews reminds us to be content with what we have and to keep our lives free from the love of money. But the Bible also says, a feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. What that means is money and prosperity can solve a multitude of problems. And I don't know if you've noticed, but that is exactly what we have. What I'm trying to say is I would rather face our problems and an uncertain future with money than without it. We must get serious about our nation's debt before it destroys us. Okay, let's get down to business. Now, many crypto enthusiasts were excited by headlines like this. Coinbase endorses strategic Bitcoin reserve ahead of inauguration. But now I'm excited by Garlinghouse's recent meeting with Trump at Mar-a-Lago and rumors like Trump may be considering SOL, XRP, and USDC alongside Bitcoin for an America First strategic reserve. As I'm making this video Saturday morning, I'm reminded that it's okay for some of us to take a victory lap on XRP, especially those of us who've been in this fight for 4 to 5 years. There's the 1-year chart. It's down from its new 52-week high, currently at 315 at the time of this recording, but it's okay to celebrate being up over 465% over this past 12 months. Subscribers to this channel all know the ISO components, but these are my actual portfolio positions. The only ones I don't own are IOTA and Quant. I'd like to own Quant. Every position is in the green over the past 7 days, and I'm excited to see what happens next. This is a very pure portfolio. It only includes ISO names, and since everything I don't want has been filtered out, it's easy for me to monitor news that affects them individually or as a group, or even crypto in general. Since I'm bullish on them all and I'm looking to add to them on news, add on dips, being able to sort what's down the most by 1 hour or 24 hours helps me identify bargain prices. At the time of this recording, 3 Central, I've got XRP at 319.58, up 23% over the past 7 days. XDC 0.1415, up 42.83% over the week. HBAR 0.3515, up 20.34%. Stellar XLM 0.473, up 4.3%. Algorand ALGO at 43.87, up 15.51%. And now let me show you why I'm bullish on these tokens as a group. Now, this is not investment advice. I am not an investment advisor, and I will never recommend you buy, sell, or hold any security or cryptocurrency. This channel is for entertainment purposes only, and just my opinion. In 2025, the key ISO deadline for the U.S. financial industry is March 10th. That's when the Fed Reserve's Fedwire Fund Service will transition to the ISO standard for messaging. This means U.S. banks and financial institutions need to be compliant with ISO for transactions through Fedwire by this date. What is ISO 20022? It's a global standard for financial messaging designed to replace older formats like Swift MT messages with a more efficient and standardized XML-based system. Why is the deadline important? The adoption of ISO by the Fedwire Fund Service is a significant step towards a more standardized and interoperable payment system in the U.S. It will facilitate faster and more efficient processing of financial transactions within the country and internationally. Now, guys, this whole program could be delayed. I am not saying that just because this deadline is approaching, the ISO tokens will all rocket, or that the entire financial system will be forced to engage with these projects. What's promising here, in my opinion, is that these are the coins that are ISO compliant. Maybe they'll play an important role going forward. Are there any other deadlines for 2025? Yes, in November, SWIFT, a global financial messaging system, will discontinue support for older MT messages and will fully transition to ISO 20022 for cross-border payments. Many other countries have already adopted or are transitioning to ISO as their standard for financial messaging. Now, in addition to a new crypto-friendly president taking office on Monday and ISO deadlines on the horizon, there's a chance that XRP could be included in the new U.S. Crypto Strategic Reserve. A chance XRP and XLM could play a role in Twitter's new payments platform. A new AI and crypto-friendly czar will be starting his job soon, with Gary Gensler being replaced by a crypto-friendly Paul Atkins as chair of the SEC, securing a more crypto-friendly atmosphere. The prospect of crypto gains on U.S.-based projects being tax-free. Uncle Frank, where did you get that one? Well, Donald Trump is reportedly considering a groundbreaking plan to eliminate capital gains taxes on U.S.-issued cryptocurrencies. If implemented, this would make all profits from assets like Cardano, Algorand, Ripple's XRP, and Hedera tax-free for American investors. And then, of course, there's my confidence that the SEC case against Ripple will end soon. I could only add the following. I am of the opinion that as many as 6 asset managers will come forward with spot XRP exchange-traded funds or ETFs in 2025, among them being Bitwise, Canary Capital, 21 Shares, Wisdom Tree, Grayscale, and BlackRock. Now you can see why Uncle Frank is shitting his pants with excitement. Now, I know the ETFs are not new news, but this is, so stick with me. 3 days ago, JP Morgan projects SOL XRP ETFs to print billions. Approval chances still uncertain, right? JP Morgan forecasts SOL and XRP ETFs could draw up to $14 billion in inflows, though SEC approval remains uncertain. Decision expected soon. Now, 2 days ago, XRP priced to $10.50 plausible if spot ETF approved, ChatGPT says. The approval of the spot XRP exchange-traded funds in the United States could drive XRP price to double digits. Now, 1 day ago, this XRP price breakout set stage for 5x rally as XRP ETF approval odds increase. Since the beginning of 2025, XRP price has surged a massive 60%, crossing 330 for the first time in 7 years. This isn't Uncle Frank talking. Now, guys, I want you to really think hard about what this headline is about to say. This is for any of you out there that think BlackRock isn't going to do an XRP spot ETF soon. XRP re-enters top 3 cryptocurrencies, overtakes BlackRock in market cap. XRP's 31.5% price surge since the start of the year, this is from January 15th, has pushed its market cap past that of the asset manager BlackRock, reclaiming its position as the 3rd largest cryptocurrency. Now, this slide goes out to all my subscribers who were with me when XRP was at 50 cents. Ripple XRP market cap is now more than Disney and Nike. Okay, you could add Coca-Cola, Citi, and Verizon to that list if you'd like. We were right, guys. So let's just talk about the elephant in the room, because this is it for me. Can XRP hit $4 after January 20th inauguration? Key expectations from Trump era. Isn't this what everyone is thinking about? Let's read. XRP's price has been on a tear this past week. The coin breached the $3 mark earlier this week and hit levels previously seen in 2018. The coin made a 5-year high of $339 earlier on January 17th. XRP price has gained over 40% over the past week. Trading activity for the world's 3rd biggest crypto by market cap has also surged. The bullish momentum has also been supported by strong whale accumulation. The crypto industry is optimistic that Donald Trump will take significant steps for the sector on his first day in office on January 20th. Crypto enthusiasts view the event as the potential start of a historic pro-crypto government in the United States. I have only one thing to add to all that. On January 20th, the stock and bond market will be closed. If you want to trade, you're going to have to trade crypto. I think we're all going to be watching XRP. Okay, now let's check out the other crypto names in my portfolio, starting with HBAR. From Be In Crypto today, Hedera HBAR eyes 57-cent all-time high as demand gains momentum. Hedera broke out of a consolidation range with its price rising from 35 cents amid growing demand. HBAR trades above its 20-day EMA, and its MACD line signals strong buying momentum. Sustained demand could push HBAR past 44-cent resistance toward its 57-cent all-time high from 2021. From Be In Crypto on Thursday, Algorand gains 20%. Market cap hits $4 billion in strong rebound. Key indicators such as the DMI and CMF show increasing trend strength and buyer dominance, reinforcing optimism around the ongoing uptrend. With a golden cross recently forming on its EMA lines, Algo could target significant resistance levels, potentially unlocking further upside if bullish momentum persists. And from Wednesday, XDC Network's price rallied by 21% in 24 hours, reaching a 4-year high of 0.121, driven by a 40% spike in trading volume. Fibonacci analysis predicts potential resistance at 0.127 and 0.157, with a bullish target of 0.194 and support near 10. I've got XDC this afternoon, Saturday, at 0.1356. From You Today on Wednesday, Stellar XLM has risen 13% in the previous 24 hours, coinciding with the appearance of a bullish golden cross formation on the hourly chart, a signal that traders often interpret as a harbinger of further upward momentum. Interestingly, XLM's gain closely tracks that of XRP, which experienced a 13% price increase within the same period. The trend has sparked fresh interest in the correlation in their price movements. This Saturday, I've got Stellar XLM at 0.477, down 1.8%. Check out this one, guys. Scientists achieve quantum teleportation using existing internet cables. Engineers at Northwestern University have achieved quantum teleportation using fiber optic cables already carrying internet traffic. This milestone could simplify the path to secure quantum networks by leveraging existing infrastructure. Quote, "This is incredibly exciting because nobody thought it was possible," said Prem Kumar, the study's lead author and professor of electrical and computer engineering at Northwestern. Published in the journal Optica, the research shows how classical and quantum communication can coexist on the same network, paving the way for future applications like quantum computing and advanced sensing technologies. Do you guys remember when the CEO of NVIDIA crushed the quantum rally? Let's check the headlines from this week. NVIDIA CEO kills quantum rally, then reignites it. Rigetti has the most upside. Quantum computing could achieve singularity in 2025, a ChatGPT moment. Schrodinger's cat breakthrough could usher in the holy grail of quantum computing, making them error-proof. Errors in quantum computers are an obstacle for their widespread use, but a team of scientists say that by using an antimony atom and the Schrodinger's cat thought experiment, they could have found a way to stop them. And then Microsoft launches Quantum Ready program to prepare businesses for the quantum era. And then finally, 2025, the year to become quantum ready. That's from the President and Chief Operating Officer of Strategic Missions and Technologies at Microsoft. Yeah, I've heard enough. I don't care what Wall Street says about my quantum stocks anymore. I'm staying in them, buying dips, and diamond handing them all. Not investment advice or advisor, but here is my folder of those positions. IonQ, QBTS, QUBT, and RGTI. Now, we will all agree AI dominated in 2024. Now, a lot of people are talking about the next phase of AI. Some mean infrastructure, some mean the apps people are going to use. On your screen are my AI app choices currently in my portfolio. Wrecker Systems, REKR. DigitalOcean, DOCN. Unity Software, symbol U. SoundHound, symbol SOUN. And Symbotic, SYM. Okay, let's do Archer now and all these bullshit hit pieces. From Benzinga, of course, Options Corner. Archer Aviation might not be the discount you think it is. And then from Tip Ranks, flying cars by 2025. Why is Archer Aviation stock taking a nosedive? And then, why buying the dip in Archer could be a bull trap? Archer Aviation stock dips while market gains. Kathy Wood favorite Archer Aviation going down vertically. Why Archer Aviation stock soared 58.8% in 2024, but is sinking in 2025. I can tell you why. The stock fell over 7% on Monday, January 13th, taking its 5-day drop to more than 23% after JP Morgan analyst Bill Peterson cut his rating to hold, meaning neutral, from buy overweight following a bumper rally that left shares looking overvalued. Let's dig in a little deeper. Okay, so let's review Archer's daily chart going back to when I started buying the common and options back in September, where it shows a low of 282 and that magnificent run to a high of 1248. So beginning the day before that new 52-week high, I count 6 red candles in a row, 6 down days. Then the 5th day, the 10th, the JP Morgan analyst downgrades the stock essentially from buy to hold, not sell. He went from overweight to neutral. That's the white arrow. Now, you may not remember, but I do. This same lampshade analyst on July 24th raised his price target from 5 to 6. The stock more than doubled your target, Bill. Could you imagine if you were this bad at your job? Tell me how long you would last. Now, this is the hourly chart. The white arrow shows when Bill downgraded the stock that achieved more than double the price he thought it would rise to. We put in a bottom at 8, which I bought the shit out of, to be honest, and we've been struggling ever since, but still up nearly $1 off the recent low of 8. The chart looks like it could retest 790, even 660 if the market were to correct. But my question for Bill is, did you downgrade the stock because it achieved more than twice what you thought it could rise to this past July? If you say the stock is going to 6, but instead rises to 1250, should we really believe you know what you're talking about now? If you guys want my call, not investment advice or advisor like Bill, I say if the stock can hold 885, it's going sideways or higher. If it breaks that, we could see lower prices for now. I say 860. If it breaks 860, we could retest 8 again quickly in the short term. Now I'd like to examine everything that wasn't in Bill's little downgrade. By the end of January of last year, there were 38.1 million shares of ACHR shorted. By the end of December of 2024, the short position had grown to 72.26 million. That's 1.89 Bill, almost 2x. Back then, there were only 285 million shares outstanding. Now there's 476.6 million. So short interest as a percentage of float, according to Chart Exchange, has risen from 13.33 to 15.16. When I look at the chart on the right, I can see some new interest in shorting ACHR the last 2 weeks of 2024. I put a white arrow there so you guys can see it. The other interesting thing I noticed about last month is we had some pretty impressive spikes in failures to deliver. About 1 month ago, the stock experienced 2.88 million FTDs, an increase of over 2,800%. With so many institutional holders, you think it'd be easy to find stock to lend out and short. Why this abnormal spike in fails to deliver? And when you look at that spike on the chart to the right, it almost jumped off the chart. Am I right? Now I'm getting conflicting information from MarketBeat. From December 15th to the close of the year, I see percentage of float shorted move up from 25% to 28.2%, 72.26 million shares, or about $704 million worth. Look at the little chart lower right. There is definitely some new interest in shorting my little company. So I guess I can say nearly 30% of the float is shorted on ACHR. That's if they're not marking their short orders as longs by mistake. Question: how does ACHR Aviation short interest compare to its competitors? Answer: 28.20% of ACHR Aviation shares are currently sold short. Here is how the short interest of companies compare to ACHR Aviation. Okay, Elbit Systems, 0.43%. Embraer, 2.12%. Loar Holdings, 2.72%. Joby Aviation, 15.04%. Eve Holdings, 10.28%. Ehang Holdings, 9.54%. TAT Tech, 0.22%. Vertical Aerospace, 1.41%. And New Horizon Aircraft, Hover, 6.58%. So I guess I can conclude that ACHR Aviation is the most shorted stock in the entire eVTOL sector, nearly double the next most shorted, which is Joby. Check. Another question: which institutional investors are shorting ACHR Aviation? Answer: as of the most recent reporting period, the following institutional investors, funds, and major shareholders have reported short positions of ACHR Aviation. Would you look at that? Right at the top of the list, JP Morgan Chase. I hope that doesn't mean you're the largest shorter on the list. This list doesn't appear to be in alphabetical order. Maybe you're the most recent short seller to target the stock. Bill, did you disclose that JP was short Archer when you downgraded a stock that more than doubled what you predicted it would rise to? You know, I can't see this filing yet, Bill. The timing on this downgrade of yours, it's growing suspicious. Now I'm beginning to understand this action by Bill and JP Morgan Chase. Archer stock drops after JP Morgan downgrade. Archer shares experienced a significant decline today, dropping by 12.21%. The downturn followed a downgrade from JP Morgan Chase due to valuation concerns. Fair enough, suggesting that the market is pricing in achievements that have not yet materialized. I understand now. Now, this little downgrade of Bill's can show you just how much damage one moron can do. Bill's cost our company 12% of its market cap in one day. That's not peanuts. I'm just wondering, were you asked to do it, Bill? Now, this guy is no lightweight. According to Tip Ranks, he's ranked 8,943 out of 9,084 Wall Street analysts. Number 34,249 out of 39,820 experts. 55 out of 155 ratings made a profit. So he's got a 34% success rate. And his average return currently stands at a negative 10%. So before we continue, I want you to meet the guy whose downgrade cost us 12% of our market cap in one day. Bill, you need to work on filling at least one star out before you comment on any of my stocks. All right, Chief? Thanks. Guys, I want you to know my conviction on Archer hasn't changed at all. And this is not investment advice, and I am not an investment advisor. But I believe this is a very rare opportunity and a special situation, in my opinion. Most startup, pre-revenue companies, like a biotech, for example, are very similar to Archer. They are waiting for FDA approval on a drug. We're waiting for FAA certification on an airplane. The big difference is they can project how much revenue they might capture if their drug is approved. We already have $6 billion in orders from some of the biggest names in the world. I believe we will start manufacturing soon down in Georgia. I believe our planes will be flying in Dubai this year. I believe we might even have a plane flying in the U.S. late this year. We are at the same stage Amazon was when it was just an online bookseller. I'm not suggesting this company will be as big as Amazon, but one thing it has in common with it, it is a completely new thing, a completely new way to travel. It saves time, it saves money, it's low impact on the environment, it's safer than a helicopter, and far, far quieter. The FAA hasn't made a new classification for a new style of aircraft in 80 years, and that's exactly what this is, a once-in-80-year opportunity. We are not just an aircraft manufacturer with a prototype. We've already delivered a Midnight to the United States Air Force. We're more than a manufacturer. We will one day operate these eVTOLs for the public. We are now also a defense contractor thanks to our strategic alliance with Anduril. President-elect Trump has already said publicly that he wants these eVTOLs manufactured in the United States. And guess what else? Check out this post from our CEO on LinkedIn. The new administration has shown they're forward-leaning on eVTOL, and I saw this continue to play out during my recent visit to Mar-a-Lago. The transition team is clearly engaged in ensuring the U.S. maintains our leadership position in global aerospace innovation, which is great news for the AAM sector. There's the weekly on ACHR. This company's story is only just beginning, and every effort to suppress its stock price, in my opinion, will be in vain and give me additional buying opportunities. If you want to short the future, be my guest, but I don't think it'll end very well. I think the stock price can achieve 15 this year and 20 early next year. Not investment advice or advisor. But when a startup is developing this quickly, anything can happen at any time. So all the people that said it will take 3 years to become profitable and it'll be a great investment in 5 years' time, all missed out on the run from 3 to 12. ACHR closed at 882 on Friday, losing 27 cents or 2.97%. After hours, it rose to 891, adding 9 cents or 1.02%. Guys, as I reported to you in previous episodes, the first inaugural crypto ball was last night, and here's the headline: the reign of terror against crypto is over. Inside crypto's victory lap party at Trump's inauguration. David Sachs was beaming on Friday night on stage between the Doric columns of the Andrew Mellon Auditorium. There was a lot to celebrate in this august hall just across the street from the National Mall. Donald Trump is just days away from making America great again, and Sachs, a PayPal Mafia member, venture capitalist, and champion podcaster for cryptocurrency, is joining the administration as his artificial intelligence and crypto czar. As a victory lap, Sachs was hosting the crypto ball along with a number of industry sponsors. Quote, "The reign of terror against crypto is over," he said in his speech to the black tie crowd. "I want my listeners to know a new era for crypto has begun." Hey, I want to thank you for watching, and please remember to hit the like button after this slide if you enjoyed the presentation. Subscribe to the channel and set the alert so you're notified when I have new information to share. See you at the bell.